Welcome again, Maxim here, and in this video you will learn how to hunt Eidolons, what you will need, what to pay attention to, what to avoid, and how to carry everything out efficiently. At the start, I want to point out that this video is not a guide to maximize your gains during the night and hunt down 18 Eidolons. No, this video is to present the basic principles and rules of fighting those bosses, what to do to get better rewards from them, what is helpful, useful, but also required to be able to hunt them, what items drop from them, and how can you use them. The most important thing, you have to own an amp. To get the first one, you need to complete Saya's Vigil story quest, which will introduce you to the situation on Cetus and the plains, and the War Within quest. I discussed the basics of the amps in the previous video. If you haven't seen it yet, or you don't know much about amps, I encourage you to watch it before this one, because I will refer to the knowledge presented there several times. Once you have any amp, you are ready to fight, as Eidolon shields can be destroyed only with this weapon. While shields are active, you won't damage any weak points. Amp is the only required item. Now let's see how to hunt looks like. The hunt goes as follows. Destroy Eidolon's shields, destroy all the weak points, and then kill it dead. Sounds simple, but there will be a lot of obstacles along the way. Pretty important information at the very beginning is that you do not actually kill Eidolons, but you capture them. Or at least you should, because then you get better rewards. Killing an Eidolon also prevents you from hunting another one. There are 3 Eidolons available in one hunting attempt: Terralist, Gauntleist, and Hydralist. The difference between killing and capturing is that you need special lures to capture. They can be found in Greeneer camps all over the plains at night. However, just having them is not enough. Each lure, in order to activate its ability, must be charged with energy from 3 Vonvalists. These are small blue sentient drones that roam the plains at night, often around Eidolons. An uncharged lure has a yellow icon, charged has blue. Fully charged lure also lights up blue. When the Vonvalist enters the range of the lure, you will see a connection link between them. But to help the lure to consume the Vonvalist, it must be in the second form. When Vonvalist takes normal damage, it turns translucent, and this is when Warframes are no longer a threat to them. However, in the form of an operator, you can kill it normally. Destroyed Vonvalist drops the intact sentient core, which is a form of currency, at the quills, but also drops its power supply. When carrying it, you glow blue, and you have few seconds to deliver it to some lure. Alternatively, you can simply turn the Vonvalist into translucent form and let the lure come closer to consume it by itself. After destroying its weak point, Eidolon will try to escape, to appear in a different part of the map, near some lake. To prevent this from happening, you need to have a charged lure. Each of them is able to grab 2 damaged weak points. First Eidolon, Terralist, has 4 points, 2 knees and 2 on arms. Gauntleist and Hydralist have 6, 2 more on the shoulder blades. Each destroyed point must be grabbed by a charged lure, so you need 2 lures for the first Eidolon and 3 for each another. Additionally, destroyed weak point leaves 1 exceptional sentient core. It is a good practice to have more than the required amount of the lures, because first, they can be destroyed, so then you have extra ones. Secondly, you will start second and third Eidolon quicker, with a lure that's been charged in previous fight. At the end of each fight, Vonvalists appear in big groups, unlike at the beginning. Here's one quick trick. To get the lures, you have to damage them and then hack them. You can speed up hacking with a quick action key. Hacking ciphers in your gear wheel lets you bypass choosing action by pressing Y button. If you successfully complete the Eidolon capture, you will get few items: sentient cores, rare mods, arcanes, and Eidolon shards. If, on the other hand, you kill it, you won't get brilliant Eidolon shard. It is required to summon another Eidolon. With this shard, you must go to the center of the main lake and place it on the local shrine. All team members must do it. The first usage of the shrine summons Gauntleist, the second Hydralist. These Eidolons are larger and, as I said, have 6 weak points instead of 4, so they require 3 charged lures to capture. What are the behaviors of individual Eidolons? Terralist swings its limb, shoots into the air to generate a rain of projectiles, or creates spheres that fire at players. In addition, when stomped, it creates a repulsing wave. Terrorist also hits with its hand. After each weak point destroyed, Eidolon roars and generates powerful pulses of magnetic damage. When shields are taken down, Eidolon can roar to order nearby Vonvalist to restore its shields. In this case, you must kill Vonvalists first and then take the shields off again. These are quite typical attacks. Most of them can also be performed by other Eidolons. Gauntalist. Its characteristic approach to the fight is to create pillars made of plasma that deal tons of damage. In addition, this Eidolon creates multiple repulsive waves or a protective field that prevents the players from getting close. To pass that shield, transference between Warframe and the operator may be required. Hydralist, on the other hand, creates areas of toxic rain. Additionally, special pink fields may appear around it, from which Vonvalists pull life energy, but you can destroy these fields with Operator. Don't worry if you are behind in comparison with other teams. It all depends on your experience, weapons and mods. Over time you will get better at this and have more equipment, so your results will be more and more satisfying. Now let's move on to weapons and tactics. Warframes. Some DPS will be useful, and or someone to support and heal. Theoretically, the most common choice for DPS is Volt, due to the increase in critical damage if the bullets fly through its shield. But with good builds, any Warframe can actually be a DPS. However, since you don't have great builds on your weapons yet, let's focus on every element that can help you out. Firing through the Volt's shield increases critical hits and the overall damage, which increases with more shields. They work the same way for amps, so that's another benefit from using Volt on Eidolons. Trinity is also useful, thanks to the ability to heal other players and lures. Oberon can do that too, and with other skill it can remove armor. We will discuss armor topic in a moment. Harrow is extremely useful by giving allies complete protection from damage and statuses for a period of time. Use 4th skill at the time of the Eidolon's roar, after destroying a weak point. 100% duration in Harrow's build is enough. Use this skill literally at the time of the roar. The next characters are the matter of personal choice. The mentioned trio is perfectly sufficient, and you can even solo Eidolons with each of them. The 4th can be Wisp to heal and buff, also Nidus can do that, but in different way. Rhino can buff and revive fallen allies. The choice is wide. At the beginning, there's not much to choose from though. You take what you got. Besides, getting a character is not everything. The most important are your preferences and your gaming style. Eidolons can be killed in many ways. Okay, now weapons. Select those that deal high damage with one shot. A well-chosen weapon with appropriate mods and or buffs can destroy a weak point in one shot. So a popular and quite good choice are snipers, Rubico, Vectis, their prime versions or Lanka. But you know, these are the weapons you should have. At the beginning it is hard to find something as good as mentioned, so you'd better shoot at one weak point together with a whole team with the best weapon you have at hand. High damage per shot works best here. Before we go any further, I want to mention the skill exchange system in a special infested room on the Orbiter. With rank 3 in Entrati Syndicate on Necrolisk, you can buy a Helminth segment from Sun. It allows you to exchange specific skill between Warframes. Thanks to this, you can increase your damage or give yourself the opportunity to buff or support during the fight. Unfortunately, this option is not available right at the beginning of your adventure in Warframe. But it is worth taking an invest in, because it can be extremely useful during the hunt. Companions can also be useful. A quick and simple choice is Adarza Kavat, which will increase the critical chance in your weapons. Smita will be good too, but she gives a flat 200% critical chance buff. With good builds, it will decrease your chance instead of increasing it. Speaking of weapons, primary are the most important, but a certain melee weapon can also be useful here. Sarpa, which is a gunblade. Shooting it with Shattering Impact mod in your build removes enemy's armor, also the one that Eidolon wears. But be careful, you don't want to remove it all. While Eidolon has armor, radiation damage makes it receive 175% of damage dealt. This is its biggest vulnerability. However, without an armor, it is most vulnerable to electric damage, which is not as effective, as it deals only 150% damage. It is more effective to leave the Eidolon at the minimum armor and use a weapon that deals radiation damage. Now, few words about amps. Considering how the operator's skulls are able to increase amp's damage, especially Madurai, which I encourage you to develop first, it's really enough to have an amp with any shot style you want. Both skills in Madurai can significantly increase the damage of amps, but also of other weapons. So this skill is very important element of the Eidolon hunt. Having access only to Unco, I recommend amp 113 or 213. And having access to Little Duck, I recommend amp 777. Or you can mix up those components and create, for instance, 177. You see the components' names on the screen right now. If you want to know how individual amp parts work, watch the video about amps. Link is in the description or in the upper right corner. Remember that some fire modes can damage multiple targets and or have punch through. By shooting the Eidolon at a specific angle, for instance from below, some amps deal them damage multiple times with one shot. Pretty useful fact. Practice it and you will see for yourself. As for skills, the rest is also useful. Some of them can support, and not only Madurai increases damage. But it's quite a long topic. If you want to know more, check the skills guide I have created earlier. Link in the upper right corner or in the description. And last but not least, rewards. The larger the Eidolon, the more cores, shards and better arcanes. You can trade cores for reputation with the quills. The higher the level of the syndicate, the more interesting amp parts and other things you can buy. Shards, on the other hand, can be converted into focus points at the selected school. These values are beyond the daily limit. So the more you have, the faster you develop your skills and you will be more effective on the battlefield. Arcanes will also improve your combat efficiency. The more you have, the more you can improve them and make them more useful. Hunting Eidolons can be difficult, tedious and requires knowledge in many aspects, but it is definitely profitable on many fronts. And that would be all in this video. Good luck with hunting! If you have any questions, please type them in the comment section or visit one of my streams. Link in the description. See you next time. Bye.